Shalom. I'd like to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rekakodas. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect, all the brothers that is doing this work, making their bodies a living sacrifice for the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. We're going to start here in Jeremiah 49, verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Tema? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? And the answer is yes. There is no more wisdom in Tema. Started with the tops of Edom, Amalek. They don't have any wisdom. They just winging it out. They're in the 250th year of their rulership. They said that a country fall after that time. 250 years about the length of the time that a country stays in power. And you can clearly see, America, Babylon the Great is falling. The heads of Edom has clearly set America up for the fall, thinking that, by that, and then, they'll get another shot at, being in power. They'll get another shot at being in a rulership. They have set the dumbest people up to run America, You got Donald Trump, sitting as president. He's sitting as the king of the hill. And then you got J.D. Vance, Then you got the Speaker of the House. You got Mike Johnson. And you got Marco Rubio sitting as Secretary of State. He done as a bag of rocks. He got devils all around him and can't even see it. Then you got Pete Hegseth sitting as the Secretary of War. Now you can clearly see that these men right here, they wear their sheets at night. They cover their faces. They burn crosses. These are the real devils that the Bible speaks about. But they are the dumbest that these heads of Edom has put in power here in the last days. This is the left hand of the Lord working in real time. You got eyes to see. You can clearly see the Lord working. The Lord sitting back laughing at this. I mean, it is laughable. You got people in office that care more about money and covetousness than the people. All they care about is their own belly. This is what the scripture is talking about. You look at people like these leaders right here that is running the country. It's very, very, very laughable. You got the people that actually founded this country in hate, back in reincarnation again. Starting with Nero, running a country of greed and hate. You got millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people to govern over. But yet, all you care about is stealing, deceiving, deception, robbery, and murder. You love covetousness so much you're gonna hijack a whole country in the dark of the night, tipping in, while people are asleep, taking their leader, kidnapping him, and bringing him to a foreign land. That sounds familiar. That's what he did to Israel. Came and captured them, took the Lord's people, and brought them to a foreign land captive. This is the same devil that is repeating his offense. Thumbing his nose up at the Lord. Just like nothing is not going to be done about this. This is the end of Esau. This is the end of Esau's run. Because to answer your question, Jeremiah 49:7, there is no more wisdom in Tema. There's no more wisdom, because if there was wisdom, these guys right here wouldn't be leading the pack. Government is not like it used to be. It always has been corrupt. But now it's at the point where, hell, they don't care. They just come guns a blazing. Taking what they want, pillaging and robbing and murdering. Dropping bombs here, dropping them there. They don't give a damn who's in the way. Women, children. They don't give a damn. Hell, they gonna cover it up and lie about it. They will make you think that they go in there with very strategic strikes. After military target, but no, they just like Putin, dropping them everywhere. At least Putin ain't lying. Putin dropping them on buildings and every damn thing. Kids, women, he don't give a damn. Hell, America don't either. America been doing that. Why do you think these countries are so pissed with America? Everybody's waking up now to this man bullshit. And now the countries are angry. The nations are angry. The nations are mad. In the book of Obadiah, like I said, how the things that Esau sorted out. If a robber came by night, wouldn't he steal till he have stolen enough? Not Esau. No, he's very covetous, and he want everything that everybody got. Every war that he ever been about some form of resources. If it's not oil, it's drugs. If it's not drugs, it's minerals. If it's not minerals, it's gold, silver. He wants something of wealth and riches because that's how he lives. That's how he breathes. But this man have no wisdom, and that's going to be a downfall because the country can't survive off of carnality. You got to have a spiritual mind in order to survive. That's why the kingdom of Yahweh Bashan, Yahweh Shah is necessary. And that's what's coming very, very, very soon. As soon as America is wiped out, totally annihilated, and then we could begin to live once and for all, But while this devil here is ruling, prepare to mourn. Prepare to continue to mourn. We didn't just start mourning. We have mourned so long, shit, it seems like second nature to us. Like it's pretty, like it become natural. But, like when they begin to mourn, then they're not going to be able to handle it. Because, see, they're so used to laying back in their lavish home, have their plush rides and, like land and ocean fronts, views and private planes and jets. They don't have to wait in no damn lines. They got everything at their fingertips. Everything's at these devil fingertips. But soon and very soon it will be over. And will it be over, you will never rise again. The scripture say the Lord said he's gonna cut off root and branch. Son and nephew, to make sure that there is no connection to you growing again. He's gonna cut off the seed line to Esau, Edom. And he's going head first in captivity. See, why the higher up think that they fucking America up? See, the Lord is doing the same thing to him. But all of it is necessary. America needs to be destroyed, and the higher ups they're gonna get no rest of the chain, and they're gonna head first in captivity. All of this is necessary. That's the brilliance of the Lord. The Lord telling you what He's gonna do to you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. He say ICBM missiles are gonna fly this way, and there's nothing you can do about it. Those are the Lord's instruments of weapon for war. They belong to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. It is what it is. It's already written. This is James 3. I'm going to start at 15. It says, for jealousy and selfishness are not the most highest kind of wisdom. Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. See? That's Esau Edom all day. He jealous. Everything that he see, he want. He went over there and got down on Saddam Hussein. Went and stole the man gold yachts, his gold, all his treasure, deleted his sons and nephews. Don't that sound familiar? See, he cut Saddam Hussein off of his son and his grandson, cut the whole lineage off of Saddam Hussein. That's the same thing the Lord gonna do with you, devil. That's the same thing that the Lord gonna do. And then he took his riches. That's the same thing the Lord gonna do with you, devil. He gonna take your riches, and you will never have them again. You know, all the thing that you have stolen is gonna be taken back. It's gonna be taken back, and you going into captivity. You know, you're gonna come down and you're gonna sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There's no throne for you. There's no throne for you. You'll be lucky you get shoes to wear. You're probably gonna be walking around barefooted, man. You know, we're gonna judge you with the anger of the Lord. And those rods of iron, we're gonna put them to use on your ass. You damn thief. It says, verse 16. It says, for wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder, evil of every kind. Is that not America? Is that not America? That is this guy right here, drawn all the way out. That's Esau Edom. He don't want you to have nothing, but he want everything. He want everything. He don't give a damn taking your last dollar. You got $100, give it all. He want it all. He don't want you to have one red penny. He don't give a damn about you suffering. That's the devil for you. That's the devil for you. You know? Verse 17 it say, but the wisdom from above is first of all pure. It is also peace-loving, gentle at all times. Nothing like Esau is. And willing to yield to others. That's not Esau. It is full of mercy and good deeds. Esau is the merciless man. The scriptures say, mercy will not be shown to him that has not shown mercy. That's speaking of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. He have not shown mercy to no one. So mercy will not be shown to him. Mercy and good deeds. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. You know. That's the wisdom from above, which Esau does not have. So to answer that question from the beginning, Jeremiah 49:7. Has wisdom vanished from Tema? Yes, wisdom has vanished from Tema. It has vanished. And this is the proof right here. Donald Trump at the helm. J.D. Vance following. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. Then you got Rubio Margo and Pete Hegseth. Wisdom has vanished from Edom. Shalom.